Local lenders aren't all bad. We even use them when possible, but it's just a matter of time before you outgrow them. Small, traditional, cookie cutter
Lenders.
Banks. I would say the word bank probably more so
Yeah.
than lender. What's the pluses and minuses of using these small institutions?
Going into First County Bank. And
My grandfather was the president of First National Bank of Germantown.
oh, well.
Way back when.
Rose on your nose.
I would really say that didn't mean a whole heck of a lot.
Growing up in the lap of luxury of Germantown,
Down
Ohio.
Woohoo!
A suburb of what, Dayton?
Yes. Yeah. I can tell you wasn't a whole lot of anything. So, what can these banks offer? What can they not offer? What's the sauce?
Sometimes they're awesome because they have pretty flexible terms or underwriting policies. Because like there's a guy like, oh, we just got to go talk to Jerry and see
And if Jerry's in a good mood.
and if we bring him a dozen cookies, then we could get this deal done.
Oh, that's all I have to do?
Yeah, and
Okay.
so that
We're going to Crumble Cookie right now.
yeah,
Let's go.
yeah. So I mean that small town feel can certainly be helpful and can get you a pretty far way. I would say though that has its limits.
Yeah.
Primarily with community banks, for instance, they are going to be limited on their loan exposure. So your first few deals might go super smooth, super easy, and you won't have any problems at all. Once
And
you hit that
then-
like $1 million of loan exposure,
They're going to tighten up.
they're going to tighten up real quick.
Yeah.
They're going to want you to keep a bunch of cash in their account or in an account at their bank, or they just might stop lending to you. So they're often very nice looking to begin with, but then sometimes it can be difficult to scale with those lenders.
Yeah. And I would say that's a trajectory for a lot of investors is, you can go the conventional route, you can go with a, more small time bank, but eventually you're going to outgrow that bank and
Yeah.
need to kind of look into these more unique style lending things. So like that whole concept of a deposit account.
Yeah.
None of our hard money lenders are going to require that. None of our lenders are going to require that. So a deposit account, meaning that you physically have a checking account with a certain balance in it, that would be a likely requirement for almost all commercial institutions right now, especially after COVID, where everyone under the sun refinanced and there's a lot of loans out, but not a whole lot of deposits coming in. Alternatively to that, a lot of these smaller banks or more traditional style banks don't really do DSCR or hard money as well.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, yeah.
So if you're looking for, rehab loans, I would say if you walked into let's just say a Huntington or a Fifth Third and you said you wanted a investment rehab loan, what are they going to do?
Yeah, no.
No. That shaking of the head
Yeah,
is exactly how
absolutely not.
it's going to play out.
Yeah. So any bank that you've heard of that is maybe at a statewide level or regional level or certainly a national level, they don't have any interest in rehab loans or sometimes not even investment loans.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to work at PNC and we used to have a strict policy against there was zero lending on any investment property at all.
Yeah.
Which is insane to me, and I don't know if they've loosened that up or not, but
Well, and these banks are good
Yeah.
at what they do. And I would say their bread and butter is a primary residence or a first-time home buyer, or maybe your second home. But
Yeah.
to get into this weeds, that's not really what they specialize in. So
Sure.
I would say that is, kind of some of the talking points that we say when we talk to clients about LFG is, hey, we specialize in this. This is the only loan products that we offer. They're made for investors. They're investor focused. They're investor friendly.
And as I mean, like we do have let's not mince words. We do have community bank partners that we work with.
Yes.
So that's one of the benefits of working with a broker is, you can get the best of both worlds. So we can start with maybe a community bank and do whatever we need to do with them and get you the best terms and conditions. But then once you outgrow them, well, guess what? We've got all your docs. We've got all your information. We can streamline right into a DSCR loan, into a hard money loan, into whatever's needed. And it's just going to be so much easier for you.
Well, and I can't say that enough. So I have a transaction right now. It's a purchase. It's going to be 7 buildings, 2 of them being commercial, 5 of them being residential. And I'm actually using 2 lenders. And our borrower is going to not feel like they're using 2 lenders. The request's going to come out in full. There's going to be one set of documents collected. As, the activities happen, it's going to be very seamless for them, but it allows them to get the best of both worlds. So we're sending the commercial properties to a commercial local bank here in Central Ohio. And then the other 5 properties we're going DSCR, so that they're multifamilies, which instead of doing 25% down on the commercial side or conventional side, we're able to do 20% down on the DSCR side. So it's just these small little caveats. But again, as a consumer, you're not going to feel or it's not going to act any differently than if you were doing all these deals with one institution. So I think it's just really honing in on who's going to be the best partner for you. Are they going to be able to service you in the capacity that you need? Because, I mean, really, even on the hard money side, there's going to be deals where from one hard money lender to the next, they just don't look or like the deal enough. Do you feel like you run into that where there's these like small little caveats from one lender to the next
Absolutely.
that, you know, terms change?
They change all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like we get new term sheets every week.
Didn't we just get one like 30 minutes
We
ago?
got one from our
Pricing
lenders.
did improve, by
Yeah,
the way.
yeah,
so
yeah. But
what is
if you're
depending on when you're looking at this,
yeah, this could be 2 months from now. So if you're looking at this 2 months
I'm
from
just
now,
being
who knows?
hopeful.
Yeah.
I'm just being hopeful. Here
But
we go.
I mean, but that's how choppy it is out there. Is that terms change all the time, rates change all the time, underwriting policies change all the time. So if you're a once a year kind of investor, and you know,
Which is totally okay.
which is totally fine. I mean, great. Add a door a year. Add
Yeah.
one property a year. But just know that lender that you used last year might not have the same terms and conditions as this year, and that's one thing that's great about working with a broker is we're constantly in this, and so we know what everybody's doing across the.
I would say that's, in my opinion, when I'm talking about LFG and kind of the benefits of coming and working with us, is the guidelines. The pricing from one lender to the next, is it dramatically different? No. What's different is those guidelines, how they're going to look at every transaction and how that's going to affect your LTV, how that will affect your interest rate and terms and whatnot. I think it's more the guidelines than anything. And those are things that are going to change without any consumer knowing about it. It's not like they send them the guideline updates. They send them to us, thankfully, as a partner of theirs. But that's not something that's going out to the open public of all those little caveats. And those are the things that screw up deals and delay closings and hinder your ability to take as much cash out, is those little caveats from one lender to the next. So local banks, not a bad thing. We use them as well. We love working with them, but don't limit yourself in just using those lenders. Let us use our 40 to 50 different lenders to get you the best terms.